Welcome back to another episode of the Coffee Break. Today we are joined by Chevan. Cheers.
Cheers, Matt.
Chev, for those who may not have come across you, can you just introduce yourself and tell us what you do at Animoca?
So my name is Chef. I am the co-contributor of Anichess game, which is built in partnership with chess.com, but also incubated within Animoca brands. So it's a new take on chess. Basically, it's a new chess variant where you play chess with magical spells, right? For example, you can make this pawn invisible, or you can turn this pawn into a knight. So more strategy and more tactics, which really changes the game and makes the game more fun. So I've actually joined Animoca 3 years ago. My background is more management consulting and also a big, gamer myself, and also play poker semi-professionally. It's really, I think Axie Infinity brings me to Web3 and then gaming as well. So just enjoyed my time ever since.
Amazing. Well, before we start, you've recently battled and beat cancer. So a million congratulations for that.
Thank you.
Can you just tell us a little bit more about that journey and what that's been like?
Oh, yeah. So I actually got diagnosed with what they call lymphoma, which is a form of like lymph cancer. But thank God it's really early, right? So it's not really. It's actually a miracle, and thank God that I'm a Christian. Like I have strong faith, and I think throughout the journey, it's been actually like very peaceful and very smooth along the way. So I actually got like the point where I discovered it is already a miracle, right? Because it's you can't, there's not many symptoms, right? And you really need to discover it through endoscopy, right? And I did an endoscopy and colonoscopy, and then basically just discovered it through the biopsy, right? And luckily it's really early, and then I just did I think 4 times, like one week, one treatment per week, and it's and after I go back to visit the doctor again around February, and then basically it's cancer free. So yeah, I think it's I think to me this journey is very very thankful and very grateful, and also brings me closer to my family, and also makes me value like health and also relationship with family and friends much more than spending my energy and time on like poker or chasing after meme coins, those kind of stuff. So have been grateful.
Amazing, man. Well, cheers,
Yeah.
cheers again to that.
Thank you. Thank God.
So let's switch gears to talk about Anichess.
Yep.
Why is Anichess what it is, and how did that all come about?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, as I mentioned, Anichess is a kind of a built in partnership with chess.com, which, if you may know, like chess.com is the biggest chess platform on the planet. I think latest this year, they have over 200 million of users, right? And the growth for the past 5 years, it's much faster than the previous 20, 30 years combined. It's because of a few factors, right? One, it's, I think, the pandemic, brings, people are stuck at home, and then they started playing chess and learning about chess online. Two, it's really Queen's Gambit around
Great
the
show.
same time. Brings people, like some people may know about chess, but they never really got to try it. But then chess.com is so easily playable, free to play. They just go to try it and fell in love with it, right? So I think with Anichess, is really try to solve a few problems. One is the viewership and the spectatorship kind of problem, is because if you have spectated or watched a online or live, chess match, it's not like boxing, right? It's not really that exciting, but sometimes it's some players may even think for an hour plus for just to make one move, right? So it's not really spectatable in a way, but with chess.com introducing the shorter time frames of chess matches, like the what they call the bullet matches, which is basically 1 minute chess match, and then or blitz matches, which is 3 minute matches. I think it's already making it a bit more viewable because it's more exciting and more action packed, right? And I think Anichess is really riding on this trend of like esports and viewership to make it even more watchable. Like then you have clutch moments, then you have like outplays with spells, and you have even have mind games with some of the spells like we call it shot in the dark, which is turning a piece invisible, right? So that kind of viewership and that kind of innovation of chess, it's also on the rise, right? So there are actually more and more chess variants that is coming along, and even Magnus Carlsen himself is really pushing for the freestyle chess championships, which is basically the randomized background. So the king and queen doesn't really start from the middle, but they're just randomized every game, right? So this really already changes, the opening, the mid game, and all that, but it's still highly strategic, right? So Anichess is really kind of trying to solve that problem and bringing in more fun and more spectatability for chess, and hopefully bring in even the gamers into chess as well.
Yeah, really cool. I'm not a chess player. I did, I did get excited by chess by watching Queen's Gambit,
Oh
I must
yeah,
say. Um, and I've obviously played a lot of any chess in my time, and I
nice.
do enjoy it. But why on chain? What does putting chess and a chess game on chain solve?
Yeah, I think one is really around the setup for the game, right? So as I mentioned, we make it much more action-packed, much more thrilling to watch, and definitely you need more cosmetics, right? So imagine chess boards, the chess pieces, and the spells and the effects and all that. They could all be skins, right? And when we think about skins, we think about like League of Legends, right? You unlock a bunch of skins, but you never really own the NFT, right? You never really own the digital property right to yourself. But I think with Anichess, if we have so many like cosmetics and skins where people can unlock it, buy it, and truly own it, transfer it, you really need NFT there. So incorporating NFT into the digital assets part of Anichess is really one thing that is very critical, right? Now then player can rent it, now player can sell it, transfer it freely because they really own and truly own that digital property, right? I think that is one. Two is coming from a online poker player kind of background, I think there's a huge potential for the online chess championships or online chess like scene in general, because looking at online poker, there are like millions of players, every single day, and the prize pools are like huge, right? And there is a lot of like online poker players and grinders, but you may wonder why it doesn't happen that much for chess, right? And I think the answer is pretty simple because of chess engines and the AI. Basically, people will be cheating at home, playing in big tournaments if there is money involved, right? So that is why there is no like big chess tournaments online, and every big tournaments of chess is really dominated by the top 10 to 20 players, which is the grandmasters, right? But there are like 600 million of chess players worldwide, and there could actually be a lot of like free tournaments, and we can have these stories for like $1 buy-in and winning millions. That could be the chess story, and arguably the chess audience is even bigger than the poker audience, right? So with Anichess, we also aim to solve that by introducing the spells, which is arguably very hard to be crackable even by AI, because every time every season we rotate and change the spells. And with the spells, we also comes with imperfect information. So it's not like chess where everything can be calculated, and as long as you have that calculating power, you can find the right move. But with Anichess, it's not that simple because you now have millions more, or if not billions more, of combinations or potential moves. And then you also have imperfect information where some traps may be hidden, some pieces may be hidden. Now, now, now that is really hard for AI to find the perfect solution. And that alone, we are rotating spells like every month, right? So with the spells, there's actually a chance where we can bring back it. Actually, not bring back. It's to really create that online chess tournament scene where people can literally make a living by playing chess if they're really good at the game. So that is also something that it's very easy and really empowered by crypto as well, because people can just buy in with cryptocurrencies, and with the checkmate token, and then they can literally win tournaments, and they can grind the game and be good, and even make a living.
So there you mentioned the checkmate token, right? You have
Yes.
the Checkmate Foundation. Tell us a bit more about that and how that's powering the whole ecosystem.
So within the Checkmate Foundation, Anichess is the first game basically, right? And the whole vision of the Checkmate Foundation is really trying to empower all strategic gamers and blockchain games out there. So chess could be one genre, but that could be like checkers, right? Or like auto chess, or like cards, or even poker, right? It is really fitting into that category. We feel like within Web3 there is a huge like overlap of like strategic thinkers and also like professional like traders, or people who just like crypto, right? Like a lot of overlap of those kind of personas, right? So that's why with Checkmate Foundation, I think the goal is really to combine all these new strategy games and blockchain games, and empower them by the one and only C token, which is the Checkmate token. I think this is probably an alpha, by the way. What we're launching next week is what we call the Genius Score, or the Genius Index, which is we hope to really bring the focus or the reach of Anichess not just to chess players or gamers, but really expand the reach to the whole Web3 space. So whoever thinks they are like good traders, whoever thinks they are like whales, or like they are OGs, they are super early, they're smart, they're good chess players, and all that, they're welcome to join to check out their checkmate score for free, right? And see if you are somewhat a genius, right? And the catch here is if you have a high enough checkmate score or genius score, you actually get the C token airdrop, right? So that is the strategy that we are thinking to expand the audience and expand the reach to not only the niche. People may think it's niche, but it's actually not that niche because 600 million of players, right? But we really try to expand the reach and then to expand the hype throughout the whole like Web3 ecosystem to try to really make noise with what we're doing with Checkmate.
You guys have also recently had a really fun
Oh,
AMA
yeah.
with Magnus Carlsen, with Eric Hansen, with Luca Netz, and Yatsu. Can you tell us more about that and how that all went down?
Cool. I think first of all, it's a very humbling experience even for myself, right? I think it's the very first time that I go live on stream together with Magnus, which is like the GOAT, and a lot of people like look up to him because he's like genuinely the GOAT, right? He's like maybe Steph Curry in basketball, Tiger Woods in golf, and I don't know, Lewis Hamilton, Lewis Hamilton for F1, right? So like Magnus is that kind of person, and like being able to be on stream with him and to banter with him, to joke around with him, and even like maybe hinting him some moves. I think that is like crazy already. Like it's like hinting Hamilton how to drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the stream it's went really good. I think with the chess.com activation and the whole Magnus stream, we have racked up over 500K of views on Twitch alone. And also thanks to chess.com, like really helping us push the marketing out there to their community. And looking at Yat, like originally his kind of goal is to outlast Bill Gates, right? Because there's this famous Bill Gates versus Magnus match, which Bill Gates lost in 12 seconds, right? But so the goal of Yat going there battling Magnus is to last over 12 seconds. But I think in the end he actually lasts for over 3 minutes, right? Apparently he still lost, but there's a point where Magnus actually struggled to think of a move for like 1 minute.
Wow.
And that is crazy, right? That also shows like how different and how much more tactics and how much more strategy. And sometimes not just, if you're a grandmaster, you would be good at this game. Not really, because grandmaster is really good at, pattern recognition and tactics and all that, but they might not be really good at spells, right? And let alone the mind games part of it, where some pieces could be even invisible. If they are invisible, how do you do pattern recognition, right? So, I think overall that's a huge stream, and I think the most unforgettable moment is when Magnus say he didn't expect this game to be that playable and that fun, right? So I think that is really a good, the best feedback that we can get like from the GOAT himself. And yeah, looking forward to a lot more, activations with other influencers or like some bigger kind of matchups between Magnus or some other GOATs out there from other industries, because I think a lot of industry leaders do play chess. And yeah, I think having Magnus on the stream and also having Magnus on the AMA, along with people like Luca, yeah, even Biology, ex-Coinbase CDO, joining us in that space is actually something that brings us over 6K tune in, and then people are actually excited about this whole collab and whole game, the whole concept. So yeah, it's been a blast, and we look forward to bring much more of these caliber of activations to the community.
That's amazing, and huge testament to you guys, man. Like obviously, with what Magnus said about the game being playable, that's really cool. That's a nice stamp of approval.
Yeah.
So what's next? What's next for Anichess? I know you talked about the Genius score, which at time of recording should be live by now.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's next after that?
So Genius score is coming. People are free to check out the score and try to beat your friends. And second is really around in-game, like game features, right? So one very exciting part is what we call the Anichess Gambit, right? And just like Queen's Gambit, for Anichess Gambit, you actually there is you need to put something on the line, right? It's not really casually playing chess, but it's where you can put in tokens or points, right? So for example, you and me, Matt, we each put down like 500 C token, and then winner takes all, right? So this really brings like skin in the game, and it really recreates that, like I'm sure you have been to parks where like some old
yeah.
men are playing chess and they are like gambling, or like betting with money, and then winner takes all. Like we call them hustlers, right? But I think we're trying to recreate that, but this time only even more easier, faster with cryptocurrencies, right? So I think with the Anichess game bit, the game mode is also getting very close to launch. I think we'll have it in Q2. And then definitely the token launch, right? The Checkmate token launch and the C token launch is really what community has been waiting for a long time, and we're really waiting for that perfect moment. Hopefully, GameFi will be a bit more like back, and the space is a bit more stabilized, and that would be the perfect timing to launch the token. And the philosophy of launching the token would be having day one like utilities, like be it the Anichess Gambit that we talked about, or any form of in-game utilities that we talked about, or even like staking. So players can actually stake the C token and get what we call the mate points, which have significant in-game utilities as well. So we hope that when we do token launch, there is already ways to sync the token. I think that is super important considering tokenomics, because we have seen a lot of projects that do TGE or do like a bunch of airdrops, but they don't really have utility at all. So the community have no option but to dump it, right? So I think that is a huge issue, and we're really trying very hard to design the best way to solve that problem.
Amazing. Well, Chev, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today.
Yeah.
Cheers to you and
Cheers.
cheers to Anichess.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, there you go. That's another episode. Thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned as we talk to more builders and founders in the Web3 space.